For the longest time, we've measured success with this one simple but, well, ultimately broken idea: growth. Always more, always faster, always bigger. But what if that engine is just spinning its wheels, taking us nowhere fast? In this explainer, we're going to dig into a huge shift in how we think about winning, moving away from that illusion of infinite growth to the real-world grit of system reliability. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Success isn't some finish line you cross and then everything's perfect forever. No, it's that physical vibration, that hum of a machine that's not just running, but running smoothly while it's being pushed to its limits. It's all about performance under pressure. All right, so we've spent more than enough time in the garage looking at blueprints, talking theory. Now it's time for the final drive. Let's see how this whole new way of thinking actually holds up when we take it out for a real-world road test. Yep, this is it. We're officially shifting from theory to practice, from all the planning to actual performance. The real test, it starts right now. So, how do we even grade this road test? What's a passing grade? Well, this is where the game completely changes. We have to totally redefine what it even means to win. We've got to shift our focus from the speed of the engine, the RPMs, to its sheer rugged endurance. And this slide, man, it just lays it all out so perfectly. On one side, you have the industrial Titanic. It was obsessed with RPMs, with infinite growth. The whole logic was speed and luxury, and the goal was always, always more. But on the other side, you've got the lifeboat. And on a lifeboat, that old logic, that's a death sentence. The new model measures success by system uptime, by pure reliability. The goal isn't more, it's enough. So let's get into this crucial new metric, uptime. Look, it's not about how fast you can rev the engine. It's about whether your local systems can actually keep running when the global storms hit. It's all about how that system performs under pressure, without, breaking. So what does a win actually look like in this new world? We're talking about tangible stuff here, real-world wins. It means the lights stay on during a crazy storm. It means your water stays clean, even if the city pumps fail. It means the soil stays fertile, even when the supply trucks stop rolling. A win is a system that simply does not break. And I love this because it just perfectly sums up the new value system. Forget all that gold-plated luxury of the Titanic. In a world that feels more and more fragile, the greatest, most incredible luxury you can possibly have is a system you can actually count on. Okay, so if we're on this lifeboat and we're totally focused on reliability, where are we even going? What's the destination? Well, it's not some abstract idea. It's a real place. We're heading for the bioregional shore. For decades, this has been the big scare tactic, right? The story we were told was that stepping off the infinite growth machine meant giving up everything modern, that we'd be huddled in caves, But that's a totally false choice. The reality of the bioregional shore isn't about going back to a primitive past, not at all. Think of it as a high-utility, low-extraction future. Put simply, it's the point where we stop acting like we're just passengers on this planet and we start becoming active, working parts of our local ecosystems. And really, think about what a huge mental shift this is. This isn't about us, the heroes, swooping in to save nature. No way! It's about us finally recognizing that we're part of the crew, that we've got a job to do, and that we are completely integrated into the web of life all around us. So that brings up a huge question. What's our specific role in this massive transition? And to understand that, we have to zoom way, way out and start thinking in terms of something called deep time. Okay, don't panic, there's not going to be a math quiz. This equation is just here to kind of frame our thinking. It shows our journey is a small part of a much, much larger story. But out of all these variables, there's really only one that's super important for us, right here, right now. And that one variable, the one that really matters for us, it's deep time. This is where it all clicks into place. It forces us to ask not just, hey, what are we doing today, but the much bigger question. What is our role in the entire timeline of history? And the answer, when you really think about it, is this. We are the bridge generation. Just let that sink in for a second. We're the mechanics. Our cosmic job is to get our hands dirty, to do the hard, gritty work of this transition. Our responsibility is to keep the engine of society running just long enough for everyone to make it to that bioregional shore. All right, so if that's our job, if we're the mechanics on this bridge, then what are we leaving behind? What's our legacy going to be? Well, the answer is all about passing the wrench. A real legacy, it isn't a stock portfolio or some fancy monument with your name on it. No, it's a living, breathing system. It's a service manual of practical, roll-up-your-sleeves knowledge passed down. How to actually fix the water pump when it breaks, how to save seeds for next year's crop. The greatest inheritance we can possibly leave behind is that working knowledge of resilience, symbolized by a wrench that's still warm from being used. So where does all this leave us? Well, that old world, the industrial Titanic, it's gone. We made it. We have solid ground beneath our feet. But reaching the shore was never the end of the story. It was just the beginning. The work continues. We have built our world on a high-stakes assumption that our industrial momentum is as unsinkable as the steel hulls we once set into the Atlantic. But the elephant in the room has grown too large to ignore, moving out of our private shadows and into the center of our lives. This is the meta-crisis, the tipping point where the stories of endless growth collide with the physical limits of our planet. The Lifeboat Mini-Course is your immediate, structured transition, a free 5-day journey delivered to your inbox to transform global anxiety into local resilience. Day 1 begins with an audit of the invisible, the energy and water systems you rely on every hour, yet rarely ever see. Day 2 forces a change in your geographical lens, challenging you to locate your true home within your watershed and local bioregion. You won't navigate this terrain alone. You will receive daily study guides and synthesized patterns designed to cut through the noise and reveal the architecture of change. Day 3 asks you to practice active hope in a world facing ecological overshoot. Day 4 introduces the demanding standard of revolutionary love. By tracing the water back to your neighbor's tap, you move beyond the narrow walls of self-help and into the expansive, interconnected practice of systems health. The climax arrives on Day 5 with the introduction of a specific framework for your future, the 9x21 harvest. Who is your mutual guiding spirit in this transition, and which 9 things will you choose to do? Stop waiting for the headlines to crush you. Sign up for the Lifeboat Mini-Course now. Access your Day 1 materials immediately and join the community hub where the next story of our world is already being written.
You can remain tied to the illusion of a collapsing global credit card, or take this course to begin building real systems health today. The Earth is tired of the lie. It is time to dance with the truth.